Hi there, I'm Jerry.
And I'm Larry.
And we are
Dangerous Dogs. Thanks for coming around and visiting us here in our dog house. We're glad to see you again. And you know, today I wanted to bring up a topic, maybe something we haven't talked about in a while.
All right.
Being on wheels.
Being on wheels.
Yes, like,
Dogs on wheels. It sounds like a plan.
It does sound unusual. I'm not sure you'd see that very often, but, well, wait a minute, think about it. I'll bet sometime in the past you've been to the roller rink.
Sure.
4 wheels on each foot.
Right.
Gracefully making your way around the rink and enjoying a nice leisurely Saturday night.
Well, you're totally right about that, except the adjective gracefully. Take that out and we're pretty much okay, you know?
Well, some people are graceful about it. Maybe not us. Anyway, it's a long time ago. I'll bet it was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. It was indeed.
Well, the reason I bring up this business about roller skates, Jerry, is that we had an opportunity to see something that was a different kind of roller skating experience. Not exactly what we were just talking about.
It's called roller derby.
Yes, roller derby.
There is roller derby in the Gem City, Dayton, Ohio. 2 nationally ranked roller derby teams.
And a youth team as well.
A youth team as well, indeed. Roller derby used to be a very physical contact sport back in the 30s and 40s, and even the 50s too. And I can remember seeing that on TV, people throwing elbows and crunching on each other.
Yeah.
But it grew into kind of a sports entertainment, the way modern wrestling is.
You don't mean like
Oh yeah,
TV
with Hulk
wrestling.
Hogan and all that wrestling stuff. I won't call it wrestling because wrestling's a true sport, but wrestling on TV. They have scripts, they have guaranteed winners, they have heroes and so on.
You mean they knew before they started who was going to win?
Can you imagine that?
Oh, that's shocking.
I mean, it blows your mind. But yeah, and so certain teams were known that they were going to win and so on. And so it became kind of fell out of favor. But in roughly 2000, 2001, it got picked up again, and ladies turned it into a ladies' sport. And it really is primarily ladies who play this sport now. And they've changed the rules somewhat. You don't see the wild elbows and everything. It is not scripted. It is truly played for real.
So they're out there really struggling to see who's best.
They're the jammers and the blockers and all that kind of stuff. And they got, lots of officials keeping track of things around, make sure it's all on the up and up.
A lot to watch.
And it looks like they're having a lot of fun.
It does.
And one of the things is that the ladies say that it's kind of the egalitarian sport. You might have a lady who's an attorney, a lady who is a housewife, and everything in between, if you will. And they get out there and everybody's the same. They all just enjoy themselves.
Yes, they do. They really do. And another thing that kind of reminds me of that wrestling you mentioned are these names that the competitors take on for themselves. Here are some examples. Supersonic, Tear a Hole in You, Heartless Glitch, Ballistic, Reckless Ratchet, Hot Wheels Houlihan, and Lady Deathlock. Well,
and the thing is, these names they're in the national registry. So if you start up and you want to have a derby name, they actually call it your derby name. It's your alias. And if you want to take one on, which everybody does, you check against the national registry to be sure no one else has taken that name. Then you register the name for yourself.
Then you clear the name and you're okay.
Half the fun is coming up with a pun or an entendre of some kind. Just obviously people are having a good time in this sport.
Fun stuff. We did have a great time when we got to see it. And we'd like you to see it too. This thing about hell on wheels, it really is a thing. What do you got there?
I've got some snacks while we watch the Derby and see what they do.
That. You'd have popcorn. We're going to have this. Take a look. It started back in the 1930s, gained tons of fans over many years, and seemed to fade away sometime after the 1970s. But now it's back, and you don't have to travel far to see it. It's right here in the Miami Valley. This is Gem City Roller Derby.
But you want to look at the way Derby has changed. And I know when I was speaking a little bit earlier, we were talking about the evolution of Derby and how it's not bank track and it's not very fast anymore. It's a lot more about strategy. It's about holding those formations. You're going to see a lot more of that.
The players are women and young girls practicing their skills before the skaters meet out-of-town teams on the weekend. It takes a certain attitude to be good at this.
Growing up female, you don't do a lot of contact sports usually. I mean, it was something that, when I was a kid, it wasn't something encouraged. And so doing derby, it's like, it's all contact. I mean, you're in there and you're finding out the capabilities that your body has, and you are testing that every single practice. And so that, for me, is amazing. I love being able to push myself and try to see exactly what I'm capable of. And being part of a team, and you're dependent upon your teammates, and they're dependent on you, and it's such an amazing thing to learn.
I started off jamming, I do blocking, and now I do a little bit of both. Whatever they tell me to do, I go out there and do it.
This is Tuesday night practice at Orbit Fun Center in Huber Heights. Dayton Roller Derby includes 2 adult teams, the Purple Rain and the Violet Femmes. There's also a junior team for the up-and-coming Roller Derby Divas of Tomorrow. These are girls who are learning the fundamentals of the game.
And we have here Total Annihilation, Candy Crusher, and Rowdy the Riveter. I don't see any rivets. Where's your riveting gun? No riveting gun? All right, let me ask you first of all, how old are each one of you?
I'm 16 years old.
I'm 14. I'm 15.
What do you like about it?
I just really I don't know, I just like the whole sport. I like the teamwork. I like how, you have your own family here, and I really like that.
Okay, right. So it's kind of a family atmosphere. What's the worst bruise you ever got?
I don't really bruise.
Whoa, she's so good she doesn't bruise, is what she's telling us here. Yeah.
Is when I was hit so hard, I went flying through the air.
Oh my God.
And I had to sit out for the rest of the practice.
But you got no bruise from it.
No bruise.
Tough girl, what can I say? What's your favorite memory for your kids in junior league?
Oh, for roller derby?
For roller derby.
Oh my golly. I really like when we've taken road trips to go to away bouts. I think that's a lot of fun. We get to go see a new city. We get to, it's stinky in the car, especially on the way back.
Yes.
But we have a hatchback and our gears in the back, and you just smell it all through the car.
So we're keeping it real here. They smell after a match, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
After a bout, the proper terminology is a bout. So it tells you something right there. And we'll move over just a little bit here. Let's ask your mom.
No, I was just going to say, for our family, I think it's just been a really good, positive experience. Just came in a good time in our life. We were transitioning from different schools, and it was just the ability to have this as a foundation, a place to come to. I think that was what's been important.
But what I'm hearing here is a strong sense of togetherness and an athletic endeavor, having fun with your teammates, having fun with the opponents, and sharing the adventure afterwards, and feeling good about yourself.
The object of roller derby is for a designated skater called a jammer to break through the traffic jam of opposing team blockers. She's the one with the star on her helmet. Jammers are very good at this. They rack up a point for each opposing skater they pass. It's wild and crazy on the track. When you see this in person, you'll wonder how everyone walks away at the end, seemingly without a scratch.
I don't really bruise much. The worst injury I got is jacked my shoulder up a little bit, but I went to a chiropractor and I'm fine now. No worries.
This is not something you should try at home, at least not without the right safety equipment.
A helmet is required. So the required safety equipment that you must have to play is a helmet, elbow pads, knee pads, and a mouth guard.
It's cardio and strength training all at the same time. Lots of balance as you're on wheels. It is this adrenaline rush that athletes of any sort would feel because you've got the audience behind you cheering at you. You got the announcers, your home team cheering at you. I was a jammer, which means that you run around with a star on your head and you make all the points. But I originally thought I was a blocker, which means you essentially block the other jammer from the other team, making all the other points. And I like both positions because blocker, you're real close, touching with your teammates as well as the other team and getting in each other's way. And the jammer, it's like a puzzle. You kind of have to jump around other people and kind of get the footwork going to find the holes between the groups of people that you get. So both places are good, but it just it's like a roller coaster. You know, you're high up and then you get down once you get, you know, the impact of you're getting through those people and you're not getting anywhere. But then when you get through, you're on top of the roller coaster again.
All the hours of practice build to the big payoff, the bout on Saturday night. On this occasion, the Purple Rain hosts the corn-fed Derby Dames from Muncie, Indiana. Excitement is in the air. There really isn't a bad seat in the house. There's plenty of action on the track. The home team is off to a good start.
It's been great so far. It was pretty neck and neck, and then Gem City has just kind of exploded and taken the lead. Supersonic is the best jammer.
So far what I've seen, it's been pretty exciting.
Officials watch all the action from inside the track. Somehow, they keep tabs on all the chaos and keep the bout running by the rules. Around and around they go. Emotions run high. There are great struggles on the track. Sometimes the jammers skate through. Other times, the blockers prevail. The action moves fast. The teams continually change up. Skaters move on and off the bench. It's a continuing, unrelenting struggle on the track for an hour and more. The women have given their all. If you didn't know any better, you might think this was a toss-up. But in the end, this bout belongs to the home team. It wasn't even close.
Off the track, everybody's friends. These girls laugh and everything else right after a bout.
So they beat each other up first on the track, and then afterwards we're all friends.
Yes, just like kindergarten.
And like school kids, the women of roller derby, both teams, sit down together for a post-game portrait. It has been a night to remember.
Wow.
What a time.
They were having a lot of fun out there. I mean, there was competition going on, obviously. But when you saw them all come together at the end, they all were just reveling in the good time they had just had, regardless of who won.
That's right. Real sportsmanship.
Indeed, I think that was a definition of sportsmanship. They played hard, and then they all felt good, and they congratulated each other for. It's kind of like the team that loses feels good because they pushed the team that won.
That's right.
To have to make them do better, and that really is the essence of sportsmanship. But I think good time was had by all.
Everybody had a good time. Everybody watching, and it's the kind of thing that you ought to go and take a look at.
Well, where would they go if they wanted to take a look at it?
To the Orbit Fun Center in Huber Heights. That's where all this took place. The information regarding the Gem City team is, wasn't GemCityRollerDerby.com?
That's it, GemCityRollerDerby.com. You can sign up and join a team.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, if you want to get some aggression out and have a good time, talk to the people there. They'll be happy to talk to you.
I think they're always looking for, you know, one thing I really liked was the little kids.
Oh,
the ones who they lined up and they have derby names. They're kind of like getting ready to join in. And I saw in some cases there were moms and sons or daughters who came together.
Yes.
So they could both participate, obviously not in the same team, but
right.
I think that looked like a lot of fun.
Where do they come up with those names? I don't know.
You know, I think that half the challenge you learn the sport, the physicality and the moves, but then you got to come up with a good name.
Yes, yes, that's an important part of it. You know, that roller rink is also the kind of place you can go and skate in a more peaceful, hopefully graceful fashion. Or
like I said, take out that adjective graceful and we're good to go.
If you and I were to go there, it wouldn't be graceful, but it might be peaceful, who knows.
Should we warn them there might be dogs on skates sometime in the future?
I don't know. Be on the lookout. Anything can happen.
Anything could happen. We've enjoyed bringing you roller derby. I hope you've enjoyed seeing it.
Yes.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm Larry.
And we are
Dangerous Dogs.
See you next time.